Hello everybody, my name is Mark. Welcome to my channel. Once again, Micro Swiss was kind enough to send me another direct drive extruder kit for my Ender 3 Pro, and that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to convert this to direct drive because it worked so well on my Sunloo. So I figured, why not do it for the Ender 3? As you can see, I just disconnected the Bowden tubing for the video purposes, just because I honestly believe you don't really need to see me disconnect the Bowden tubing. But let me get you adjusted up a little bit there so we can see what is going on. All right, and once again, you know, I'm doing this video in my basement. I mean, off an iPhone. I don't have a big elaborate setup like some guys do, which that's cool, but I'm not. My channel's obviously not that big, so but that would be nice to get it to that one day. And I'm new to the 3D printing world. I mean, I've only been doing this now just for a few months, but it's been so much fun that it's pretty addicting. So other than that, let's get started. First thing I'm gonna do is take off the fan shroud here. Okay, we're just gonna set all that aside. And I can work on the carriage here. All right, well, I guess the next thing we're gonna do is probably remove that extruder real quick, because obviously we gotta do that. So, and let's get this taken apart. Actually, and this type of I bought this this Allen wrench set and all that off of Amazon. Look, it extends out so you can actually make it longer. I'll put a link in the description for it to where you can get it, so that way you can, you know, it gives you a little bit of length so you can work on things a little easier, so it's not so close. And it comes in a big case like that with all types of bits and stuff in there. Oh, and then I'll have to take off. Let me take off this little grub, or not the grub. I'll loosen the grub screw to take off the gear off of there, because the kit comes with another gear, so we'll have to use that. I'll set that off to the side for right now. And let's see if we can loosen up this belt. All right, what I'm gonna do is loosen these up enough to where we can get the belt. Now we're going to loosen up that nylock nut right there to loosen that wheel up. And then I think once that loosens up, then we could probably pull the whole the whole carriage off. So all I gotta do is just loosen that up enough to just to take that up out of the V slot there, and that should work. So I think what we're gonna do now is, I think what I'll have to do is I'll have to take these, because we're gonna use the same rollers. Actually, I bought a pack of new rollers. I wonder if I should use it on that, but these don't look too bad. They don't look wore out. I don't think there's any flat spots on them. Or maybe I might use them. They're like some clear polycarbonate wheels. Maybe I'll take a look at those real quick and see if I can install 3 of those on there. I got them off Amazon, I think, for a few bucks. Maybe I'll do that just to see what it looks like. But anyways, I'm going to take these apart real quick, take them bolts out and get them wheels off. But you know what? Like I said, if I got extra wheels, then I could just leave all this together. You know, maybe I'll just do that, because the kit comes with, you know what, I'll have to take off that eccentric nut, won't I? So I'm gonna just do that real quick, because I think we got to use that for the other kit. We're gonna put those onto this plate here, like so. I'm gonna fit those on, and we'll tighten these up, and that should still spin, and it does. It spins freely. Nice, actually those wheels feel pretty good. Let's see how it goes. You gotta make sure that it goes a certain way. So if this is your bolt, your wheel, you gotta make sure that that longer boss, or whatever it's called, is facing away from the roller. Because I think what it does is it seats into the hole, that bottom hole down here, like so. See, it seats right up against it. Well, it goes the other way, like that. So you gotta make sure that that is facing the correct way. And then I got my washer and the nylon nut, and let's see if we can get this put on here. Sometimes these things are kind of tough with these small little nuts, washers, and bolts, and I think I got it. And then we'll just have to make sure that that eccentric nut is seated down in the hole correctly, like that. And grab my little wrench here. See if I can hold back on this and start to tighten this one up. Okay, it tightened up. And it looks like that eccentric nut is all the way in the hole. And it, honestly, just by putting that together, there is just a tad bit of wobble. So I think what we need to do is adjust this nut now. What they tell you to is adjust this nut. But yeah, they feel like they're rolling and there's no wobble in that. Let's see if I can adjust it a little bit more. That's real tight there. We don't want to do that. Yeah, they don't feel too bad. They don't feel bad. And there's no wobble. And it's pretty smooth rolling across that rail. Alright, I don't know, let me reinstall this belt maybe, eh? Because I don't think there's enough room at the bottom of the rail to slide this little brass crimped end on there. It won't fit up in there. So I'm wondering maybe if I loosen that up, put these in, then tighten that back up, that'll actually work a little bit better. Let's see what it does. Okay, it spins freely, and that nut is all the way in. But now, let's see if I can get this in though. Hopefully I don't have a problem getting this guy in, which I don't think I should. I mean, it's a belt, so it should stretch, right? Little fumble. Little fumble. Might just have to really stretch this belt, I guess. There we go. There we go, we got it. We got her in. Gonna have a tight belt though, so I think that's a good thing, right? She's gonna have a tight belt. Feels good. Feels snug. It feels snug, that's for sure. So Just trying to look down in there and see if I can see. Make sure that I had that other T-nut down in there. You know how you have to loosen them up to get them to spin correctly. And then I think the theory is if you spin it fast enough, it'll twist and lock into position. I like those other ones with the little, they got a little tiny spring steel or whatever on it, or they're only one way and you can't, they don't spin in there. Yeah, that bad boy feels nice and snug. That belt really went on there it went on there all right. All right, I guess now that we got that, we can, let's see, what do we want to do next? Let's, you know what, maybe we'll mess around with this extruder real quick, put that on. Let me just put this, all I'm doing is just putting this stuff back together. I took off all the stuff that goes with this one, so I keep all that together just so I don't lose it all. And if I ever need a spare one of those, I got it. All right, so it's in this bag again, the same one that I took these ones out of. It comes with the stepper motor screws and all that in there. So let's venture into that. Let's see what we got to do there. So I think what we need to do is put this on, and whenever we put this extruder motor on, make sure that that connection's up towards the top. So I think these ones, these little small guys like this, little M3s, are gonna go, one of them's gonna go up here. And they do say that, I don't know, we'll see, hopefully by mounting this motor on the x-axis here, hopefully, and with only one lead screw, you only got one lead screw there on the Ender 3s and the Ender 3 Pros and all them, that hopefully it doesn't do anything to the x-axis for sagging or whatever. I don't know, we'll see. If it does affect the prints, then I guess maybe I'll have to look into taking the power supply off, maybe mounting. I know they have a Z-axis kit that you can buy for these, so maybe that I might have to look into that into the maybe in the future or something. That screw there, it's got a shoulder on it, so I think that's the one that's going to go into there, into the lever. Let's see here, I got the lever right here. So here's our lever. There's our gear. So I think that screw is going to go in there like so, like that. And I believe that guy is going to go right there. And we'll tighten that one in. And then, yeah, that allows that to swing freely. All right, what we got to do is make sure that that flat part on the extruder motor shaft is going to get lined up right with that little grub screw there. We got to make sure that's on the flat part. can kind of do that, work that filament back up and down, and I can see that both gears are turning. I don't know if you guys can get that, but they're both turning because I'm applying a little bit of pressure on that lever handle. And it looks like the filament's directly in the center of the gears. So I'm gonna call that probably good there. I'm gonna let that relax for a minute, and then I'm gonna take this Allen wrench and tighten up this little tiny grub screw. And remember, it's got to be on the flat part of the shaft. Okay, so now I think what we'll do is I think we can install this spring. So what it is in the same package is it comes with another bolt, I should say. It's like a shoulder, or what, it has a shoulder on it with a spring, and it's got a little tiny nut on there, and that'll go through here, this opening. And then you push that, and we'll screw this on. And they say that we'll tighten that up just enough to where that the threads of this bolt is just flush with the face of that of our screw right there. And that feels okay because that's what'll provide tension on that, like that. What I'd say was I noticed that after I put the filament in, I noticed that this little gear here was just a tad out from that other gear that's on the lever here, but I want to make sure that they're both out the same distance and lined up. Okay, that seems to be good now. So we'll pop this guy back in. And I don't think that's directional, even though it's flat. Oh, it's flat on both sides. Okay. Just want to make sure. So I guess you can go either way, either way. Okay. Let's see where we are here. There. Okay. Perfect. All right. That worked out. We'll put the extended cable on stepper motor. I always call it a stepper motor, extruder motor, I don't know, whatever people call it. So we just plug this end in here, like so. Plug that on down in there. And this does come with a, just so you guys know, a filament guide bracket that mounts up here, like so. So you can run your filament through with the Bowden tube, but I'm going to put my spool and everything on the top, and I'm going to run it straight down, the filament straight down into there. So, okay. So we're going to take the Capricorn tubing that come with it, and it's got a little bit of V-notch a little V-notch, you know, on the top of it. So that's the end that's going to go up into there along with the hot end. So let's see what we got here. Let's see what we can do with this now. Let me slide that out a little bit. And then I think we're going to push that all the way down as far as we can go in with it. And here's a little clip that they give you. And push that in there. And lock that in. So that is really tight now. And we slide that up through there as far as it'll go, so we can bolt on our hot end, or I should say our heat sink, right? Because I think that's what that is a heat sink. Okay, I chose to go, well, now that we got all this, I mean, that's pretty much it for the direct drive extruder setup. I mean, I just got to put back on the shroud, but actually what I'm going to do here to show you guys that I went and I'm going to do this, I believe. I think this might be a little bit better. I got a 50-15 fan here with these little JST connectors that I crimped on with the blockhead cooling duct and the mount for it. So I think what I'm going to do is mount this to that. Let me show you how. Actually, I put one of these on my Sunloo and it actually works real well, believe it or not. The 50-15 fan does pretty decent for cooling. And I kind of like the look of this blockhead design. And believe it or not, I printed this all out in PLA. I know they say you're supposed to print this out in PETG because of heat, but I guess I haven't seen any warping yet along the ducts or anything. So I guess if I start to see that, then maybe I'll do that. But I believe that let's see here. That's got to go like that, right? And one of the nuts fell out of the... He's got little M3 nuts that go in these slots right here, so you can bolt it to the side, which is fine. We'll make sure that stays in there. And like I said, I'll put a link down in the description below so I can link all this where I got all this if anybody wants it. Well, there it's up and running now. I got that blockhead fan set up on it. I just started printing. I'm gonna print a wise cam mount just like that. So that's what I'm gonna test out and try. Just so you guys know, I know I didn't mention it in earlier in the video that you got to reset, you got to recalibrate your E steps and stuff like that. I believe they recommend that you start out with 130 steps per millimeter or whatever. So I did that, and I recalibrated the X axis or whatever through Cura. But I might have to tweak that setting a little bit because it's still like, you know, when you prime the nozzle on the side here, it was still getting it off to the side of the bed. But I'm just gonna have to tweak that. But other than that, it seems like it's doing okay right now. I'm gonna wait till after it gets a layer or so that fan will kick on to see. But other than that, I mean, it's gonna crank that out. And I just did a skirt around it, so I wound up having to take off one of the bed clips or whatever, because with that fan setup, it gets pretty. It didn't hit it, but it was pretty close. So, and then I mounted my spool up there, and that's the sunroof. And I put that, downloaded that front end for it, and it's the same thing with micro Swiss direct drive with the blockhead fan set up on it. Actually, that cooling does pretty well. Other than that, you know, go ahead and hit a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. I know I don't have a whole lot of subscribers right now, but you know, if anybody does view this or whatever, you know, just tell everybody, let them know. If I can reach 500 subscribers, I'll do a little giveaway. I have a few little items to give away. If I can reach 500 subscribers, I have a EZR extruder by CNC, brand new, that I'd be more than happy to give away if I could reach 500 subscribers. Other than that, that's it. I'll talk to you in the next video.